Want to make a quick video here. Just got through watching Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals, and it's a wrap. Wallace Warriors sweep Portland with a 119-117 victory in Game 4. They will go to their fifth straight NBA Finals. Uh, First team to go to five straight since the Celtics, the Bill Russell Celtics back in the 50s and 60s. Uh, wow. Tonight's victory was really gritty. A really gritty win. You don't use the word gritty win. You don't use the words gritty win with the Warriors, since KD has come. But obviously missing KD, missing Cousins, and missing Iguodala. Iguodala out with a calf injury. I believe that was the right move. Uh, Let him get rested up. Just in case if the series were to if the series were to have moved on, he would have been good to go for Game 5 or Game 6 if necessary. But obviously that's not the case. Uh, they get it done without him. I can't say enough about Steph Curry, man. Obviously, he's had his struggles in the playoffs in the past, but this dude, without KD in this series, he was dominant. He was dominant. He had his way for all four of the games. Game 3 was more of a Draymond controlling the pace game, but Game 4 was all about him. It was all about him and Draymond. They become the first. I think they said they were the first pair of teammates to each record a triple double. Let me see. Curry had what did he have? He had 37 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. Draymond had 18 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. Draymond the last couple games on the road, I think they was talking about his triple doubles. He's had them all on the road. That's big. That's big time. You want your. I hate to call Draymond a role player, but he kind of is. But he does his role in his offense, and I've always felt the Warriors are most dangerous when Draymond is running the point in transition, because you have those three shooters. You have Clay, you have KD, you have Steph. The Warriors are just so much more dangerous with Draymond is running, because you got those three shooters and those two scores. Steph and KD's instance, you have to guard those guys. And that gives Draymond opportunities to go to the bucket, which he has successfully done in the last couple games on the road. I just can't say enough about this team without KD, man, in this series. Uh, that's grit. That's pure grit. The heart of a champion. The heart of a champion. Rudy Tomjanovich, I think that's how you say his name. Rudy Tomjanovich said it best. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Warriors have been here. They show games 2, 3, and 4. They've shown, that grit, that toughness, that championship mentality. Being down 17 in game 2 at half, being down 15 in game 3 at half, cutting the lead down to 4, I believe, before halftime of this game. It's just that championship mentality, man. It's ingrained in them. You know, uh, 3 of the last 4 champions, back-to-back championships, now going for a three-peat. When you've been in this situation, when you've been in big games, you know how to react. You know never to panic. You don't fold. That's. I just can't say enough. Just can't say enough about that Warrior team, man. And they will, again, they will head to the finals for the fifth straight year in a row. I mean, again, man, great job by Steph. He's taking a lot of flack. He's always, you know, again, for he's taking a lot of flack for his struggles in the playoffs, and he still has to get over his struggles in the finals. Even though he did last year, I think he did last year. I think he deserved the MVP last year, but he had to get back that bad game three, and then of course KD went off and got game three and hit another dagger 3-pointer in Cleveland from the left wing. So that's what gave KD the Finals MVP. I think Steph is now more motivated than ever. Coming off of this series and trying to get that first Finals MVP. You know, and I knowing definitely that he felt slighted last year when he didn't win it. So I think he's going to do his best to go extra hard. A lot of people are wondering how it's going to be when trying to instill KD back into the lineup, back into the rotation, back into the offense. Because this was basically 2014, 2015 Warriors, 2016 Warriors. Without KD moving the ball around, Steph and Clay being going off screens, Draymond looking for the pass. You don't have a KD ISO in the situation. The ball is moving at all times. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work KD and maybe Cousins back into the lineup. Iguodala is a role player. He knows his role. He knows what he's supposed to do. But man, it's Clay had 17. He had a bad shooting night though, so only 7 of 21. But Alfonso McKinney played a really good game. Shout out to him. 12 points on the night. He started in place of Iguodala, and that's what's made this Warriors teams so successful. When you got guys like Iguodala, Livingston, Barbosa in the first couple. I think the first championship. I don't know if he was there in 2016 or not. Those role players coming off the bench that do their job. That's what it's been about. That's what this dynasty has been about for the Warriors. Not only their stars showing up, but their bench, their role players, guys you wouldn't expect to playing a big part in their success. But enough about the Warriors. Want to go to Portland, man. It's tough. It's really, really tough way to lose. Going out in the sweep. I'm a LeBron fan. I know about a little something about watching sweeps. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, Damian Lillard just didn't seem. I don't know if he left it all in the Oklahoma City series in the first round, and he heard all that about Westbrook's better than him, and he played his A game, and he hit the game win over George to send him to the conference semis. And after that game, it just looked like Lillard wasn't the same since. CJ carried him through the series against the Nuggets. And then CJ struggled in this series. Lillard struggled. In my opinion, looking at watching the games, the best two players for the Portland Trailblazers in this series were Steph Curry and Meyers Leonard. These two home games for Meyers Leonard, man, Game 3 was big. Tonight he leads the team with 30 points, had 25 in the first half. He was lighting it up from 3-point range. He was 12 of 16 from the field, 12 rebounds, 5 of 8 from downtown. But again, a lot of that was in the first half. McCollum had 26. Lillard had 28. They shot 45%, but it just wasn't, they just didn't look the same all series. Lillard had 12 assists, and that was a big part of them losing the first game in Gold State. They didn't shoot well, but yeah, I mean Seth Curry didn't have a good game. He only had one point, but I mean, but for the most part, he showed up against his brother, man. Against his brother Steph. He looks like he could be a key role player, bench player for years to come. On a contending team. Maybe like the Blazers, or if he decides to go elsewhere. Whenever I forgot, I don't know the terms of his contract, but he looks like he could be a pivotal piece of the bench. Of a contending team. In the future. So, um, yeah, I'm just disappointed in the war in Trailblazers. I really thought they would make this a series. I had the Warriors in 7. I mean, I really thought both teams win their home games. I thought it was a good matchup for Portland, but they just went cold, and the two superstars couldn't put together consistent good performances in having to lean on guys like Seth Curry and Meyers Leonard to lead your team. That's just a recipe for disaster. So, yeah, tough for the Trailblazers. I love how Lillard said he wants to stay in Portland. He wants to try to win a championship before he's not going to try to ring chase. We'll see down the line. but I love hearing that. But I love hearing that, though. I love hearing that. But obviously a lot of players say that and end up doing other stuff. But I think that they'll make the playoffs. As long as Lewis there, and Lewis got McCollum, and obviously I think they really missed use of Nurkic in this series, an offensive big man in the paint. Leonard actually again Leonard was good, but you just wonder what would happen if Nurkic was healthy. But you can't play woulda, coulda, shoulda. Obviously, the story of the series was Steph Curry. Was just 3-point shooting in the first game, and then the Portland they changed. They had that big man come up on Curry. Sometimes he just made a lot of good shots. So I forgot the end of the game. Lillard had a chance to win it with a 3-pointer. Coming off a pass inbounds, but he was fading away out of bounds. I think if he would have went straight up, he would have had a better shot. But it is what it is. Congrats to the Warriors again, making their 5th straight Western Conference Finals champions again for the 5th straight year. Going back to the finals, looking for the 3-peat. Can't wait. Should be good.